Right. It's 25 July 2025. That is 250725. And today I'm excited to be giving you an update on everything that is taking place, or the clarity update. A lot is taking place in our country. And today I decided to just back off a little bit in the afternoon because of the confusion. So there's a lot of confusion in the environment. And there's need for us to have clarity to say what exactly is going on, who is who in the zoo. So what is happening in our country? So specifically, we are at a critical moment where Mnangagwa is about to leave office, and he's going to leave because his term is coming to an end, his second term. And it's not possible for Mnangagwa to go for a third term. So Mnangagwa is coming up with different plans on how he can become or keep power when he's gone. And Tagwire is playing a very big part. You saw what happened today with Tagwire playing golf with Mnangagwa. So this was surprising to a lot of people. But I said in the morning, Tagwire and Mnangagwa are inseparable. And Chiwenga has decided that he's going to back off and let the situation develop. He's not going to interfere with the situation. So a lot is going to happen. There is going to be a lot of realignment going forward. Some of the things that we're seeing, you're not going to see them going forward. Some of the confusion that we're seeing with people thinking that Chiwenga was going to remove Mnangagwa, you're not going to see that confusion. And you're going to see more and more of people going towards a side that they think is going to win. And at the moment, many people think that Mnangagwa side is going to win. Many people are going towards the side of Tagwire. That is where people are going, including people in the opposition. People in the opposition are also going onto the side of Mnangagwa and Tagwire. People thought there was going to be some change, but they're starting to see that that is not going to happen. So they are jumping ship, and a lot of negotiations are taking place behind the scene. However, I can assure you that the opposition, if it's organized, is going to win the 2028 elections. ZANU-PF is going to lose. However, you need an opposition that is organized. So now let's look at what has happened with Professor Gift Mugano. Quickly, I know that most of you want to know why we have this headline. So Professor Gift Mugano, we had put him here as one of our potential presidential advisors. He has joined, basically joined the RBZ, or the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe, and he is going to be working with them on the ZIG. So he's going to be working with the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe on the ZIG. This has come as a massive surprise to Zimbabweans across the whole country. People cannot believe that Professor Mugano is now working with the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe. And I'm not saying this as a joke or as something else. This is him who tweeted it. So he says, today, I had the privilege to meet the governor of the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe and his team. We have productive and constructive discussions on what should be done to make the national currency work. I was impressed with the work the RBZ is doing to defend the currency. So this language you are seeing here is new, totally new from Professor Mugano. There is no way that Professor Mugano would say something like this 3 or 4 months ago. He was slamming the ZIG, he was slamming the policy, he was slamming the lies. So everything that the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe was saying it's not true and it won't work. However, suddenly he's got a more positive answer to everything that the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe is doing and what they are doing inside the bank, which is all totally untrue. I've told you guys that the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe is running a fake currency. So hear this from me, and I'll never change. The ZIG is fake. It's not backed by gold. All those things are still true. And people are not paying. The Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe is not paying, and Treasury is not paying people that are owed money by the government. So Professor Mugano, by joining this side, He is no longer speaking like a professional. He is now speaking like a consultant or someone that is paid. And this is where our problem is as Zimbabweans. We don't have people that can be on one side for a long time. So the moment people get paid a little bit, they then flip sides and they're left again with no one. So that is why we need an opposition political party with policies and with permanent ideas about how to fix the economy. At the moment, we've got one person saying something here and another person saying something here. So that is what has happened with Professor Mugano. He's basically flipped and went to the side of the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe. If whatever they agreed works, he's going to defend the ZiG until it crashes. So if he gets paid and does consultants work, until the ZiG is 1:1 million, he is still going to have to defend it, even though he's an economist. However, if someone is an economist and they don't get paid by the bank, they can say as much as they like about the bank, about the policy, about the currency. At the moment, we now have someone who's going to have to compromise their own views because they've joined the side of the bank. The Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe is the problem, is the center of all the problems in Zimbabwe. So I just wanted to bring this to your attention. A lot of people in Zimbabwe are going to go to this side, the Mnangagwa, Tagwire side, the Reserve Bank side. These guys are the Masvingo guys, the ones you're seeing here. They are Wejira. So Wejira, that is Wejira crew. Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe, Tagwire, Mnangagwa, all these guys Wejira. Even Farai, Mnangagwa, Aka Broker, she was there today. You saw her today at the function which is being held today at the home of Mnangagwa tonight. So they are consolidating. The Mnangagwa family is coming together. They don't look like they're running. There was a time earlier in March where they look like they're running. Now people are coming to their side. A lot of people are pitching onto their side. They're openly supporting Anakama Billiard. All these guys, they are openly supporting Mnangagwa. And Tagwire is making moves. He is getting awards. Today, he just got an award at Solusi. And tonight, as we speak, Tagwire is at Rainbow Hotel in Bulawayo. And likely, if not mistaken, Chiwenga is going to have to go to that function at Rainbow tonight. So very strange stuff that is happening. We all know the Zimbabwean government is not doing well. We know that Mnangagwa is not doing well. But people are moving towards the Mnangagwa government. Tagwire is making headway. And we are at a point where we need someone to really organize the opposition and make it work. So that is where we are. And we're going to be working on that. One of the most difficult things to do, I can assure you, starting the opposition from scratch is going to be very difficult because a lot of people have already sold out and they sell out at the RBZ, the same spot at the RBZ. Many people have sold out here. They get paid and then they change their views on important national issues. Okay, we've covered that. Let's quickly go to some news. I know most of you want me to tell you what I think about Ambassador Ambrose Mtiniri. So let's go into that story. Many people don't know what's happening. I don't get my news from a tweet. I talk to people inside. So if you see me quiet, nothing has happened. So there was a press statement here which said appointment of Ambassador, retired Army Brigadier General Ambrose Mtiniri as the Vice President of the Republic of Zimbabwe. This follows the resignation of Kembo Mohadi. So this is totally fake. It never happened, and it will never happen. So Mtiniri is the guy who worked with Mugabe. So he worked with Mugabe to contest the elections and was working with other people like Julius Mawarire and a lot of other people. You can see here the day he was fired by Julius Mawarire just before the 2018 elections. Mtiniri also was in the news for his marriage to a very young lady. And I've got nothing against this at all. So what I'm saying is the idea that Mtiniri can become a vice president under Mnangagwa is not possible. The person that is going to become president is Valerio Sibanda. So Valerio Sibanda is going to take over as vice president. He's going to take over from Kembo Mohadi. But it's very rare for a vice president to just step down. Kembo Mohadi is probably the only vice president that has stepped down by himself before. So this time around, it's going to be an event. Something has to happen for Kembo to leave and for another person to take over, who is Valerio. And I believe that they're waiting for him to finish his term. So Valerio Sibanda's term is coming to an end, according to the information we had last week, around November, December. But anything can happen from this point. Anything can happen, and Valerio can become the vice president. That is my view on the whole situation. I also view that Chiwenga has lost mileage. So Chiwenga has lost mileage. He's no longer scary to these guys. They do what they like. So they are trying to make him look as weak as possible. So every day they come up with a different thing. And this document came straight from Mnangagwa's office, this one. These guys are playing games, mind games with Chiwenga. Every day, they want him to be caught up in useless games. He's going to be caught up in this fake story or the other. They create a fake story every day so that Chiwenga feels like his position is threatened, like he wasn't consulted, and then he runs around and tries to find out if Mohadi is resigned and finds out that it's fake. That's what we call a quagmire. A quagmire, you're just flipping around, but you're going nowhere. That's what they're doing to Chiwenga. This is a strategy by Mnangagwa. Everything you're seeing here is from Mnangagwa's office. Mnangagwa's office is a theater. They create dramas every single day. So that is what they're doing, trying to unsettle Chiwenga so that he doesn't feel comfortable. Who is Ambrose Mtiniri anyway? Mtiniri is the most senior military official left in Zimbabwe. So the most senior military official left in Zimbabwe from the ZAPU side. So he is the equivalent of Chiwenga on the ZAPU side. He trained the most senior people in Zimbabwe, including Solomon Mujuru, were trained by Mtiniri. And Mtiniri was the first group of people to leave Zimbabwe in let's see the year, and I'm going to lie, 1968. That is when he left Zimbabwe. So Mtiniri, the most senior person, even more senior than Valerio, he trained Valerio Sibanda. But the reason why he's not going to take over as vice president is because he left ZANU-PF and joined NPF, the National People, is it NPF or NFP? NPF, Yana Jilas Mawariri, Namugabe. So they joined that party, and therefore he's no longer a member of ZAPU or ZANU. He does not fall into the group that can become a vice president in Zimbabwe. So this is fake. The moment I saw it, I knew it was fake. But certain people don't know the whole situation. So he's never going to be a vice president. It's not possible. And the whole thing is a drama. So clearly, we are in for a long, long period. Between now and November, we are waiting for Valerio to step down from the army, and then we'll see if he's going to be president. We are also waiting for Chiwenga to be dismissed. I believe that Chiwenga is going to be dismissed. Suddenly, you're going to wake up one day and Mnangagwa would have dismissed Chiwenga the same way they did here. This is an example. They're giving an example to Chiwenga that they're going to wake up one day and he's going to see one of those letters. That's what they did to Ma'am Juru when she was fired. She was not told. She just found the bodyguards gone. They were gone. The bodyguards were out of the house. And she looked out and found no one. That is crazy. Yeah, I think I've covered the most important stuff that I wanted to cover. And then let's quickly look at Bushiri before I go. I want to look at Bushiri. Bushiri is a, what do you call that guy who escapes many, many times? A Houdini. That is Bushiri. Bushiri is crazy. Guys, what has happened is unbelievable. So the documents of Bushiri have disappeared from the file. Did you guys hear that? The documents of Bushiri have disappeared from the file in Malawi. The extradition documents have disappeared. So the lawyers of Bushiri are now saying since the documents have disappeared, it's better to just trash the whole case. So he's not going to come back to South Africa for extradition. Can you believe it? That man is shocking. His behavior is shocking, but that is what has happened in Malawi today. Most important story, you can't find the documents in the file. Vaka broker. Right. Mnangagwa aka broker. Auxilia aka broker. Sean aka broker. Emerson Jr. aka broker. Kuda aka broker. And Jan, tunau Eda Farai. Farai aka broker. Farai aka broker. Collins aka broker. Yes, vese vakadhakwa. Muri yekwa Mnangagwa iri kutonga yese muchi government chakaora. One, can you believe that one government can be made up of one family? Teta se wakomana. Ngatibate vanhu ava. Batova bata se ivo vakabata army. Mnangagwa akabata army man. You can see kuti Mnangagwa is doing what he likes. What he pulled today with Tsaguri, it's a total sign that Mnangagwa does not care what Chiwenga thinks. He wants to show everyone that Chiwenga is no one. That is what he's doing. Mnangagwa is a very, very intelligence-led person. He is someone that spends almost half of his money on intelligence. I'm talking about intelligence. So right now, he is got a plan. And Mnangagwa normally makes his plan 1 year ahead of time. So by the time you are making your move, he's already planned every move. And by that time, by the time you get to it, Unopinda in a trap. He's creating a trap for Chiwenga right now, because Tsaguri is the next man that is going to be vice president together with Valerio. Remember, we're now moving away from the liberation movements. He wants to test the water. This man has got no liberation credentials. Tsaguri has never fought in the war. So what I'm going to do is, within the next few days, I'm going to take you through the history of Tsaguri. Who is he? Where did he come from? And how is he linked to Mnangagwa? I will show you how this man rose to become the biggest fuel supplier in Zimbabwe. So I'll take you through all that and the basic history of these guys. Together with the rest of the people that Mnangagwa is using across the region. We're talking here at PAP, at Sadak, Kweseo, and these guys, they can only listen to one thing. Chema Tsenganzungu. If I tell you this over and over, the only language that Mnangagwa understands, Chema Tsenganzungu, that is the only way you're going to remove Mnangagwa. And not my jokes, SCI, and Mnangagwa is going to laugh at you if you think you can strategically remove him. However, an opposition party can remove Mnangagwa. So an organized opposition party can remove Mnangagwa without Chema Tsenganzungu. However, if you're in ZANU, you have to use Chema Tsenganzungu. Do you get the difference? So an opposition party doesn't exist, because what has happened, Mnangagwa has gone and removed the biggest opposition leader, who is Chamisa. He has frustrated him out of the system, and then he has made sure that it makes no sense to belong to the opposition. Everyone is scrambling to be ZANU. But it's easy. Once you set up the opposition and there is money in the opposition, you're going to see what is going to happen. People are going to move away from ZANU and the opposition is going to win. So let's make it happen. M31, that is the only way to do it. And it's hard. It's not easy. Guys, the things I have to do during the day on M31 are so much. And the work that we still have to do is so much. But once we start moving, once we're moving, we're going to do very, very well. And we're going to remove Mnangagwa. Achabuda, Oenda Kubikita, Onotamba, Muchongoyo, together. Nemuri yake vese, vanotamba Muchongoyo. Vachiridza usiku wese. Right. That is amazing. Mnangagwa akagara pa Janet, achimwa court Redoro. That would be amazing. Kamdara Kekuma Misha. Right, I think I've covered everything. Where is Mudara Geza? Where is Mudara Geza? Where is Mudara Geza? We want him to come back so that we can see if the war veterans are still with us. Where is Mudara Knox? Where is everybody? What has happened to these guys? Why suddenly quiet? Guys, what is going on? You see what I'm talking about. We need a structure. We need a party. We need an organization. We can't do it without an organization. It makes no sense. All right, I think we've covered everything. Let me see what the comments say. Kumashingo, ndo kumshakune mve. Mkama Elijah, don't drink or eat mve, which is not processed. That it's very powerful. Unokwara. Gambakwe, Twitter say Namnangagwa, Fonera Trump Atipe, my jet fighter. No, the opposition doesn't need jets. You need organization. But if you're in ZANU and you want to remove Mnangagwa, you wait for him. Achitarina bathroom. Chema Tsenganzungu. That's the only way you can remove Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa is got the Zimbabwe National Army, but he also has his own private army. He is armed. Tagure is armed. Scott is armed. So those guys, if you say, let's have a fight, you have to be careful. You can't approach them like willy-nilly, like that. So terrorize Team Rabbi, at the bottom there, you see that guy who's in the bottom there, Scott Sapwanya. That is the general, the private general of Mnangagwa. He holds the guns, Zamnangagwa. And then at the top there, you see Mtuling over there. He holds the actual money of Mnangagwa. They've lost the password of the Ministry of Finance. They don't have the password to the system, so they can't log in. So any transaction that is happening is manual and is being managed by that guy. Then you see at the top there is Tagure and Chungwaran. Those two guys are the runners. They go all over the world. They deal with churches. They do all sorts of crazy stuff together. So that team there, don't play with it. They are not sitting ducks. Remember that when you're dealing with Mnangagwa and Anata Gure, you're not dealing with a sitting duck. If you approach them without thinking, no donates. So don't allow yourself to do donates. You make sure how do you not get in the wrong side of Mnangagwa? Firstly, you must think harder than Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa needs someone that does something and does not hesitate. So when you're approaching Mnangagwa, you don't say, Ndara no kia, Ndara no kia. Unongotasa utarisa uti sha kawan. Ndozo da Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa doesn't want zvese zvokuti Mdara takasimba isusu chichi zvoita vanhu. Don't do that. Kana da kupedza Mnangagwa, you must be ruthless. But the moment there's no one like that, vese vanofarira kuita dance around. Have you seen those people like Mombe Zichirwa? They start dancing around before they fight. There's no time for that. Mnangagwa will see you coming and will take you out. So that is where we are failing. That is where they're failing. They don't have the killer instinct. They don't have the ability to take him out. And Mnangagwa himself, he is very methodical. He tires out his enemies first. So I told you about the buffalo. He never attacks you once. He leaves you to show all your moves. Right now, Mnangagwa is showing people, allowing them to show themselves, allowing them to talk, and then he just does what he likes, like what he did today with Tagure. That is a sign. Yokuti, I am in control, and it's me who is boss. And tonight, you're going to see him again. Tagure is going to present at Rainbow, if I'm not mistaken, and they'll go on and on. They are setting out their foundation. They don't care who else is saying what. So that is where we are. The only way out is to have an organized opposition. And that currently falls within our side. We have to make it happen. We cannot afford not to have an organized opposition. Once that is in place, you will see that Mnangagwa is very weak. He cannot apply the tactics to an organized modern opposition. He can do it to all those captured guys, but not to us. you will never be able to do it. Anditengwe na Mnangagwa, andikundwe kufunga na Mnangagwa akabroka. Right. I think I should let you guys go and sleep. 25 minutes. I'm talking longer than Makandiwa's prayers. Like Makandiwa Chinamata. I'm going to run 25 minutes. Imagine Apostle Chunga praying. That should be something rough. Like you can pray for the whole night. At this also, guys. Let you go to sleep. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Remember to buy Mve. So got a special United Kingdom 2 for 1. United States, New Zealand, Australia, and all other countries outside of Africa where DHO delivers. And then in South Africa, if you buy 1 packet, we'll give you 2 Zambia Detox, which you can use for yourself. I'd like to thank all of you for watching. It's been amazing. Please join and follow our channel, M31. M31 is the new political party that is going to be amazing. We're going to contest the elections and we're going to have a president very, very soon. Within the next 30 days, we're just waiting for Fadzai to respond, which is by the 24th of August or before. If she doesn't respond by that time, we're going to have a new approach, PISA, Semoto. Mkoma Maxwell already verenga message yangu. Let's see what Mkoma Maxwell is saying. Yes, you are right. Kwenyu ikoko munovaka nyika neve nevayo. We don't care about it. Let me explain to you what we're going to do. We want to build Zimbabwe to be like Dubai. In 5 years, Zimbabwe will be like Dubai. You will see it. Who told you about the war credentials, bro? Yake, take it easy. Yes, let me tell you about Mtiniri. So let's dig deeper. So what happened is, and I want to take you through the 3 guys. So guys, give me a moment. So Philip Valerius Manda, Kembo Mohadi, and Ambrose Mtiniri. Those were the 3 guys in line to become vice president of Zimbabwe the last time. So Mugabe overlooked Mtiniri, right? And currently, the dates of birth are like this. Mtiniri 1944, Kembo Mohadi 1949, and then Valerius Manda 1954. So both of them were in Zipra, or the 3 of them. But Mohadi was not in the army. He was more of intelligence. So he never fought this war of guns. However, Mtiniri went to Russia in 1964. And at that time, in Zapu, Valerio, he went and became a soldier. So Mtiniri came back from Russia and then he trained Valerio. Do you get it? He was a trainer. So almost everyone that you know in Zapu was trained by Mtiniri. Mtiniri introduced what is called standardization in Zapu. Zapu then became a military army compared to ZANU or ZANLA, which was not an army. ZANLA was a guerrilla force, whereas Zapu was an army. So Zapu had structures. That's why you saw that they had properties, they had leadership structure, and the only people above Uyu Mtiniri was people like Lookout Masuku. Like he was really at the top there. There was no one else above him. However, after independence, he did not go into the army. He went and became the Minister of Youth Development and so forth. That position in Amachakairi. That is what Mtiniri went and did. Mohadi then went into politics, and General Valerius Manda went into the army, the Zimbabwe National Army, rose through the ranks, and in 2003, he became the commander of the Zimbabwe National Army, and then Mohadi became vice president in 2017, resigned in 2021, and was appointed in 2023. However, in 2017, Uyu Mtiniri resigned from ZANU-PF to join NPF. Mugabe formed the party after he was removed as president, he formed a political party together with Julius Mawarire and Grace Mugabe. So they formed a party which they hoped was going to get the votes and work with Chamisa. You get it? So that is where this whole situation became a problem. Mtiniri then became someone who can't work in ZANU because he's what? He worked in a new political party. All the three guys were on sanctions, except for Valerio, who has never been on sanctions. Currently, Mtiniri has been removed from sanctions, and Mohadi is also been removed from sanctions. So these guys are not sanctioned. All the three of them are not sanctioned, but he cannot become a vice president because he left ZANU in 2017 to join Chamisa and Mugabe in their new political party. You get it? So clearly, I understand the politics of Zimbabwe. I'm not like the guys who are going to say, did you hear that Mtiniri is now the vice president? How is that possible when he's not even in ZANU? Okay, but this is all stories. The real deal is the opposition. Let's form an opposition that will work. We are there. Isusu, we've been lucky enough that at my age, there is no political party or formation that I have not seen or worked or understood. I understand all the people in these political formations. So what we want to do is to create something amazing. What we're going to create is going to be structured. That's the difference. ZANU-PF cannot stand a structured opposition. They will lose. Gambakwe another advisor, not zvaari kutaura politics is not kutaura zvaari kuita. Of course. Yes. Remember what you can criticize Gambakwe because he's doing something. You can't criticize someone who's doing nothing. Remember that ane bora ndo anomakwa. And then zvinongooneka here paZimbabwe iyo kuti ite kunge yes, that's possible. Fadzai, we have currently put as our preferred candidate. Do you know who I talked to today? I asked Chibaya how old he is that day. So today, Chibaya asked me and says, Gambakwe, why do you want to know my age? Chibaya, unogona kusora president, zvikashamisa, ukandiudza age yako. Togona kuita president. Zvinoita here Chibaya kuti aite president. Guys, write in the comments kuti zvinoita here kuti Chibaya aite president. Zvezvaita sei kuti Chibaya aite president. Chibaya, I know what position he can occupy. And I can assure you that to be an appropriate position for Chibaya. Chibaya ndinompa position inonzi minister of what do you call that? Minister of State for Midlands. I can give him that position. The kind of guys who are going to make president are not at that level. So we want someone with international credentials, someone who's lived and worked outside Zimbabwe, someone that has never been in a prominent position or who has never been involved in factionalism, and someone that is a lady. The president has to be a woman. That is what we want to do. In my own view, it's critical at this point for Zimbabwe to have a female president. So we're going to push very hard, and I'm going to sell that idea to as many people as possible. We need a female president as our next president. No more killing. Mkoma Alex, he just gave me something I didn't know. Mtiri was an army working at KG6. I will do some more research on this and find out. Okay, so I think, guys, it's clear. We have the necessary momentum at the moment. And I've got the staying power. I can come here every day 3 times, but we're going to need to leave this seat. I'm going to have to leave this seat and go to Zimbabwe, and go to America, and go to UK, and go to Switzerland, and go to whichever country you can think of. We will need to talk to presidents of different countries. Next year is going to be so busy. We can't build a party from a chair. So we have to change the way we think. And also we have to have an office in Zimbabwe. We have to start having office bearers so that we split the work and our party will succeed. We're going to do very well. M31 is going to do very, very well. Remember what we're trying to do. We want a quick change to our country. A united and prosperous Zimbabwe. We want people to make money. Under Mnangagwa, no one is making money. Remember that only Taguri is making money. All right, I've talked enough. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the morning. Remember, tomorrow there's an election, and that election is not being contested by the opposition. I'll give you more details about it tomorrow. But thank you very much, and a good night.